Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Hearthstone. So, we tried the Hunter. Let's see if we can do something with a mage deck. So, edit this deck, delete it completely. Let's try a mage deck. So we're doing this Tavern Brawl that I think could be very cool. Let's see. Spells are one less. And should I counter spell? No. Should I draw 2 cards maybe? Let's see. Flamewalker. This might actually work really well. And I just need to decide which cards I want to do. Like that one is the question. I thought I had a secret that would capture maybe mirror entity things. But then may cast a spell on a minion. See, that's one I'm thinking too. And then the final thing I want is the duplicate one of Reno Jackson. Let's give this one a whirl. So I have a decent amount of things to still talk about, although now that we've covered the Gabe Newell AMA, at least as much as I cared about it, in a lot of ways, like Gabe Newell and
the hunt begin.
You asked for
the guy that runs Double Fine, also, and Randy Pitchford, who runs the Gearbox. All of them, Peter Molyneux is another one. All of them are kind of just figureheads, and they're desperate. They're definitely different people, but the way I see it, a lot of it does just feel like whatever they say is not really anything more than just what the business is pitching, and I don't look at any of them as actual video game creators or programmers. Even if they were that at one time, they don't feel like that anymore. They feel like a boss, and like so many other bosses, often they're just trying to pursue some agenda, and whatever agenda that is may not be in line or helpful towards getting any real information out of them. Let's see, I don't think we're ready to do that, but we can do this, and we can do this, and freezing trap. Not a huge issue to bring that one back out. Actually, I don't even need to bring that one out for a while. There's this game called Drop Zone that is a real-time strategy game where the matches only last 15 minutes. Now, beyond that, Drop Zone looks like it's at best medium quality real-time strategy game that's not going to really succeed anywhere. Is there any room in the world at all that would allow for something to replace StarCraft 2 as far as a real-time strategy game? Because we've seen a lot of things try to do that and not succeed.
I serve the Fire Lord.
Let's see what happens here.
Job's done.
Another freezing trap. And an explosive trap. Alright. So, but the concept of 15-minute real-time strategy, I guess, kind of makes sense.
To my side.
It's forcing a average player to experience what I assume would be a similar experience. Let's see, if I play this, then I can't play this. So I need to play this. I'm hoping I hit this guy twice, but I didn't. Well then, we'll do this and that. And end the turn. As another short thing, and I think that's going to be the common theme here. Swery 65 has opened a new studio called the White Owl Studio. It's his own studio, so I think he was probably working for somebody else before this point. Which, okay, then that will that'll allow him to do crazier things, but it might also be the case that his previous studio was his own studio too, and it just failed. Well, he wiped me out, but I could probably win in 10 turns alone. Good for him. His killer is dead, and no more heroes game. I want to see more of the things he does, certainly, but there's also a within reason to that. We've seen in the past, most definitely, where video game creators left to their own devices don't have those strengths, and then they become just a George Lucas, ruining even the old things they've created, let alone not creating anything new interesting. So who knows what's going to happen there. Maybe that is just a natural way things have to happen, because there's just no chance. Why do I have this guy? Oh, because I mirror imaged him. Let's see. It would take both of my characters to kill this guy, so I see no reason to do that. Resident Evil 7 will be cross-buy for Xbox/Windows 10. That competes with the PlayStation version, which will have PlayStation VR support for a year. Now the problem with cross-buy though is it really only works if you buy things through the Windows 10 store, as far as I know. Well, here we go. Let's see if this one works. Alright, victory. So definitely not the smoothest victory there, but we'll continue forward and hope we can get 3 more. Yeah, cross-buy means you have to do it through the Windows 10 store, which means you're not doing it on Steam. And again, every time Resident Evil 7 comes up with another piece of advertising, another piece of small thing to talk about, I have to
asked
say
for it.
to myself and warn people, it's like Capcom just doesn't care. They simply just don't care about their products. We know this to be true. They just recently put out a Mega Man mobile port that's garbage. It just happens over and over and over again. I know that guy discovered a taunt minion. I'm gonna play this, play this, and then play this. And then end the turn. So, yes, there's definitely a chance Resident Evil 7 will be a great game. It's totally worth the $60 they're asking for, I believe is the price, and all will be well with the universe. But I'm not really sure I believe it. I really don't believe it. But
Someday I'll be just like you.
I have no faith in the company. And that's kind of all I can say is over and over again is I have no faith in Capcom. If Capcom went out of business and other people got their licenses, then I would have some faith, maybe. Interesting, not video game related story is coming about where they're after bribery allegations that are almost certainly true have come up for the creator of Samsung, the president of Samsung's child, because the president of Samsung's father is in the hospital for the past 3 years and yet still in charge of the company, and so now they're thinking about arresting the son for the same thing that they have already convicted the father twice of, and then he was pardoned by the president of South Korea. So it's really interesting, as it was explained to me on the news. Basically, after the Korean War, they just picked and chose winners of corporations and said, these people, this will get all the business. And so then Samsung became this hugely successful and also politically powerful person because they employ massive amounts of the things. Let's see, I have 11 here, so 11 won't win me, get me past this guy. So they're afraid that if they go after all the corruption that's going on, that Samsung will just shut down all the grocery stores and insurance companies and other things besides the gadgets that we know in the West know them to do, and severely hurt the economy. Let's play this. Discover this is interesting. Peruse. It's a new card. Let's take that. Peruse. Take that. And then you take this. And then we take this. Have we got him down enough?
Time runs out on me.
I think we've got him down enough to win. So that's kind of just a side story. Moving back to video game news, We'll see what happens there. Atlas Reactor is this game that was a free-to-play, top-down, like, first-person shooter that decided to go from free-to-play to instead being a regular game that's just for sale, with 3 different pricing ranges, one as low as $30 and one as high as $100. So it went from free to play to minimum you're going to pay $30, maximum you're going to pay $100 to get this game and play it. And it's, I believe, a first-person shooter online competition only. I'm not sure there's any actual single-player gameplay in it at all. I'm just guessing. And now it has decided to go completely back to free-to-play. So, what can we really say about a game like that? While these may have been sound strategic attempts economically, they are completely unheard of pricing models. It's really, really unheard of to raise your price for a video game ever. And to do that alone probably killed any chance of success. Well, I can't target this guy, so I'll just do this. So, yeah. Almost certainly Atlas Reactor has a dwindling player base, and that player base will dwindle down to 0. I mean, there's a level of trust you want to establish with your clients, particularly for something that requires servers and for something that is necessary to trust the creators of the game to ensure you can continue to play it. And you've broken any level of trust at all by going, you've irritated the people who were who got it for free to play by raising the price and probably lowering the number of people that they could play against.
Flame on.
I can't kill anything here. You've almost certainly now irritated anybody who's paid $30 to $100 for the game, because now they feel like they've wasted their money. And you've probably re-irritated all the free-to-play people now that the game is back on free-to-play. Each of these actions almost certainly lowered the number of people who had any interest in playing Atlas Reactor. And that's certainly true for me. Oh man, if I could have only done... I need a 6 damage. And I don't think I can do 6 damage. Will they defeat me? Let's see. We've got 13 here. That's 18, 19, 20. Ooh, I got it. That was a close one. That was a close one. So, just really terrible planning on the part of Atlas Reactor. The game actually kind of has like a Borderlands-esque interesting look to it, but I think a lot of it is just trailer deception there. I think the trailer particularly is just showing cutscenes and things that you may actually see in the game, but aren't really that much about the actual gameplay or the way things are going to
light
look.
shall bring
In a
victory.
similar way, even
You
Overwatch
asked
has
for
that
it.
same issue. Is you kind of know that the first couple of trailers for Overwatch, which are just these long Disney Pixar style of things, weren't really what you would see when you play the game. And well, what you see when you play the game is very similar. It's not what they show. Let's see. I'm gonna take this one to this and then end the turn. Let's see. Next thing we have to talk about, and see, I'm afraid I'm gonna run out of things to talk about here. This will be definitely the last game we play. Do this.
Someday I'll be
This.
just like you.
Attack. There was this weird angel shooter. You played as an angel that also had a bunch of weird characters that look like Quake characters, maybe, or just random Master Chief style characters. And one girl is heavily emphasized with some amazingly bad boob jiggling technology going. But this game came out in 2000, so you're talking a 17-year-old game now. This game has come to Steam. It's called Messiah. Now,
What to
the
do,
only thing I
what to
can
do.
imagine that is the case is there's probably or possibly a niche audience that's moderately large. And because of that niche audience, it makes a sense. Or it may just be that they are going, whatever company that makes Messiah, which might be Sega, is going through their list of games, and they very possibly already had it running on PC, and they just needed to do a little bit of tweaking to get it on Steam, and that was it. At the end of the day, I guess I can't complain about really old games that might have some historical relevance coming to Steam. I would much rather see that than cheap asset flips or things that should be on a different service completely. If Steam actually just had a free section, a free indie section that said, look, you can put up whatever garbage you want to put on here. We'll run a virus scanner on it and we'll guarantee you that much. But that's all we're really going to do. They're going to be cheaper Flash games. If it actually is a Flash game, we'll run Flash on our side so that you're not installing vulnerabilities on your PC. If there was just an entire separate section of Steam like that, maybe they should just call it Vapor or something like that, then I wouldn't be really upset. And then that could put Steam Greenlight more in the focus and say, well, why would people waste $100 on a Steam Greenlight submission when they can put it for free or at least cheaper on this Vapor service, and it just won't be in the regular Steam store, and then the regular Steam store starts to be this more curated thing of at least games that at one time sold over 100 copies, even if there are a lot of old games on it. And maybe eventually they just need to put the old games in a section too. Start to, much like how department stores don't have everything on the same shelves. You don't go to a grocery store and it's just one long strip of shelves with everything in random places. Just start to departmentalize it a little bit better. That would be very helpful. Well, we may be going 5 minutes short, but we kind of need to do that too. As far as our progress, we've played no warrior cards, but I could probably fix that rather easily. I just need one more mage victory, and that's what we'll do next recording. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe. Click that bell next to the subscribe button to get notifications, and watch every second of my videos. Also, please follow and friend me on all of the social media links down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.